Hello everyone, here we are in the land of windows and walleyes again, Warroad, Minnesota. Welcome back north of Highway 2. Today I've got a part 2 follow-up for you of a part 1 video I did, which was 3 baits that you must have if you come up to Lake of the Woods on the weekend. I'll drop the link of that video in the description below. Please go check it out. But today's part 2 follow-up is 3 techniques that are kind of non-traditional for locals up here in northern Minnesota to use on Lake of the Woods. So I'm excited to show you guys kind of what I have cooking for different ideas for the summer. But before we get started here, a couple weeks ago I set a goal for this channel that by October 1st I would love if we could get to 500 subscribers. So I would have the opportunity to give back, do a giveaway for the people that have supported the content on the channel and have supported what we're doing here, liked, commented, subscribed. I would really appreciate it if you guys would take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 500 subscribers so I can contribute back to you guys what you contributed to me. I've really appreciated it so far. So I've talked about maybe doing like some spinner kits, maybe making some homemade spinner kits so you guys can tie some of your own spinners at home. I've also talked about maybe doing a fishing rod, a duck call. I'll come up with something creative, but for that first 500 subscribers, I'd love to do a giveaway if we can hit that mark by October 1st. So speaking of fishing rods though, if you guys didn't check out my actual very last video, I gave you a sneak peek into my 2025 open water fishing arsenal, which is all brand new rods. I've got 8 brand new rods from a brand called Halo Fishing. I'd really appreciate it if you went and checked that video out. And if you guys like the products you see in that video, Halo's fishing rods, use my code at their website. Halo 20 north of Highway 2. It'll save you 20% off on their rods. I'm really excited to try out the new BB series scope and rod. Thing has an amazing action. I'm really excited to kind of try it across all the different applications that I'm going to use in Manitoba, Minnesota, Ontario, up here in northern Minnesota, and in the Canadian provinces this year. So anyways, guys, really appreciate you sticking with me here. Let's dive into the different techniques that I'm going to use on Lake of the Woods this year. All right, so let's get started here. What I'm going to show you guys first is like a unique technique or a unique style of fishing up here on Lake of the Woods is I'm going to show you that I'm going to tip some spinners with some different types of baits. So what I want to show you first is I'm going to tip traditional type spinners. I'm going to have to find a good way to show you this. Like this with just a regular, I believe it's a 4 3/4 inch finesse worm. So what I'm using here, this is NETBAIT's 4 3/4 inch finesse worm in Scuppernong. So this honestly, this color looks so much like a traditional night crawler. It's unreal how much it looks like a real night crawler. So I'm gonna try tipping some spinners with not only finesse worms. This is gonna be like a finesse worm, a 4 3/4 inch finesse worm is gonna be kind of my shallow water setup. But as I look at doing trolling spinners in deep water, I'm gonna go to one of NETBAIT's versions of a finesse worm, which is like kind of a mega trick worm. This is called the T-Max. So this is a 6.5 inch, and you can see I got this one on white, and I've got it on a kind of a green bait fish imitation spinner blade. I think this is gonna work really good out in deep water with 2-ounce weights, trolling for walleyes out in the middle of the main basin of Lake of the Woods up here. So anyways, technique 1 that I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do some comparisons of these NETBAIT trick worms and T-Max against live bait, live night crawlers. My favorite way to fish walleyes on Lake of the Woods, which is spinners and night crawlers. So really excited to show you guys if this technique is going to be viable, and I'm just excited to try it myself. So anyways, technique number 1 that's kind of unique. We're going to tip traditional spinner rigs with the NETBAIT T-Mac and then also the NETBAIT finesse worm. All right, so technique number 2, you guys. I see this used at a lot of different lakes for all sorts of different things. Smallmouth, largemouth. I've seen this used in river systems for walleyes. But something that I am really excited to try this summer is I am gonna do some traditional drop shotting around rock piles in this main basin of Lake of the Woods, or maybe up in Ontario and some of the more rocky structured sections of Lake of the Woods. But I am gonna do some drop shotting this year. So what I've got this drop shot rig tipped with here, This is a new bait from NETBAIT. This is called the Prop Duster. Let me get a snapshot of the package here for you. So the Prop Duster is a 3.5 inch style, or it's a 3.5 inch finesse style minnow. Works great on a jig head, works great on a drop shot rig, works great in any type of minnow application that you can think of. Some other things that I'm gonna try on my drop shot are Prop Dusters. This is a color called Tennessee Shad. This first color I showed you, this is Pearl Blue with Pearl Red. This looks so much like a rainbow chub, it's incredible. I think this is gonna work really good over in the Rainy River maybe later in the summer. I know it's gonna work great for smallmouth. Smallmouth love rainbow chubs. Another color I've got here, this is a really natural looking color. This is called the Gizzard Shad. And then another type of bait that I'm gonna use on the drop shot is, this is more of a traditional drop shot style bait. This is called the Lollipop from NETBAIT. Comes in a really nice plastic container in here that contains and controls kind of how the baits sit in there. These things have awesome action. I've messed around with them a little bit in the sink and in the bathtub. I'm not much of a fishing geek, that's okay. But anyways, technique number two, or unique technique number two I'm gonna try on Lake of the Woods is I'm gonna do some drop shotting. So excited to show you guys that, maybe versus a jig comparison. How does a jig in a minnow or a drop shot in a minnow compare to a drop shot in a plastic? So looking forward to taking you guys along for that one. All right, you guys, third, last but not least, this isn't a really unique technique. This is just something different that I'm gonna do to a bait. So side-by-side comparisons, I know I've seen a lot of people do this for bass. I don't know if I've ever seen it done for walleyes, but I'm gonna take some classic shad wrap or trolling style baits. This is a Husky Jerk from Rapala, and this is just your normal number 7 shad wrap from Rapala and crayfish. I'm gonna take those baits and do some side-by-side comparisons with the Bait Fuel hard bait stick applicator actually on the baits versus not on the baits. So what I'm envisioning is I'm gonna take 2 of the exact same Husky Jerks, exact same rod setups, line setups, everything, get the same amount of line out, and put one and have one that has Bait Fuel, the hard bait stick on it, one that doesn't. Do a side-by-side comparison. So anyways, the whole point of this video was to try new stuff. So if you can do a comparison and see how well your new stuff is working to the traditional stuff, why not? I think that's really fun little experiments to do. I always watch this video growing up. It's actually a video from a really large cooler company that you guys all know. I'm not sure if I can put this in here or not, but there's a quote in it, and maybe I'll link it in the description, that says, "The best biologists in the world are anglers. They understand the ecosystems that they're a part of better than almost any scientist." Almost better than the scientists. So you fishermen out there, you fishing freaks, you hang on to that one. That's a really good one. That makes you proud to be a part of the sport that you're a part of. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for sticking with me here. I really appreciate you checking out part 1, my rod video, part 2 here with some unique things that we're gonna do on Lake of the Woods for catching walleyes this summer. I hope you appreciated the NETBAIT products I've got in front of us here. If you guys have never seen NETBAIT, go check them out. They're doing some really neat stuff that I think not only bridges gaps in the bass world, I think it's applicable to pike fishing. I think it's applicable to muskie fishing. I think it's applicable to all sorts of different applications that we have here in the Northland. You think about scents, why wouldn't scents work great for pike? Why wouldn't scents work great for muskies? So I'm excited to keep trying out some of their products. It's gonna be a fun summer. I'm motivated to do as much fishing as I can and to spend as much time outside as I can and take you guys along while I'm doing that. So you guys, thank you so much again. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. I hope I can sneak out on the water here soon. Andy and I are gonna be doing a little traveling, so it might be a couple weeks, but anyways, appreciate it so much. We'll see you guys in the next one.